It's Monday, the 24th of February 2025, and today marks the third anniversary of the Russia-Ukraine war. For 3 years, the war has had a profound impact on the entire world. Russia continues to make advances on the battlefield and has the upper hand, both militarily and diplomatically. In fact, today, while we might be closer than ever to a peace deal, the question remains, at what cost will peace come? Let's just take a quick look at this map coming up on your screen. Here's where things stand right now. Russian forces are gradually advancing and control just under a fifth of Ukrainian territory in the east and south. In fact, Russia holds about 113,000 square kilometers of Ukrainian territory. Just for comparison and context, that's an area equivalent to the US state of Ohio. Let that sink in. The third anniversary of the war started on a rather dramatic note, in fact. The Russian consulate in France was attacked by incendiary weapons. The device reportedly exploded right outside the Russian consulate in Marseille early on Monday. No injuries were reported. A second device was also reportedly thrown, but it did not explode. The suspect is said to have fled the spot and an investigation has been launched. Authorities are yet to provide details on the suspect or a motive. But Marseille, which is France's second largest city, by the way, and a major Mediterranean port, does not really have a notably large Russian community. The Russian Foreign Ministry, in fact, responded to the incident saying that it had all the hallmarks of a terrorist attack, quote unquote. While the details remain unclear, the incident comes after Russia's foreign intelligence agency, the SVR, warned last week that the country's diplomatic missions in Europe could become the targets of Ukrainian terrorist attacks, quote unquote. The Russian intelligence service had also warned that Ukrainian operatives could try to derail Russia-America talks by attacking Russian embassies in European countries like Germany, Hungary, Slovakia. The Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman, Maria Zakharova, has said that Moscow will demand that the French authorities conduct a thorough investigation and boost security at Russian institutions in the country. But it wasn't just the Russians. Ukraine also marked the war anniversary on a somber tone. Russia continued its offensive across multiple fronts. The previous night, Russia had launched its biggest drone strike on Ukraine ever. In a single night, Russia launched a record 267 drones at Ukraine. The Russian drones reportedly attacked at least 13 regions of Ukraine. Ukraine's air defenses said they intercepted most, but not all. Moscow has launched near nightly massed drone attacks at Ukraine for months, with the goal of exhausting its air defenses. According to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, just this past week, Russia had launched a total of nearly 1,150 attack drones, more than 1,400 guided aerial bombs, and 35 missiles of various types. As far as ordinary Ukrainians are concerned, they attended memorials and said they longed for peace. Peace from the economic strain and the psychological toll. You see, prices for basic necessities like vegetable oil, bread, eggs rose sharply due to the war. Inflation in Ukraine reached nearly 13% by January 2025. But even as Ukraine hopes for peace and fends off relentless Russian attacks, a political battle has been unfolding in the background as well. The US, which has been Ukraine's biggest backer in the war in a way, is now under Trump administration, urging the UN General Assembly to back its resolution marking the third anniversary of the war. And in a diplomatic note that was sent on Sunday, the US described its brief resolution as a forward-looking resolution focused on one simple idea: ending the war. Here's the kicker, by the way. America's draft resolution pits the US against Ukraine and European allies. The UN General Assembly has repeatedly backed Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity, but the US draft makes no reference to that, reportedly. The US push coming after President Trump launched a bid to broker an end to the war, sparking a rift with Zelensky and raising concerns among European allies that they could be cut out of the peace talks. But are we any closer to a peace deal is the question. Trump says he wants to end the war, and Russian President Vladimir Putin says he is willing to negotiate with a condition. Ukraine must accept the current reality on the ground, which is that Russia controls large parts of Ukrainian territory. Russia has also demanded NATO scrap its 2008 promise to one day give Ukraine membership of the military alliance. But despite the change in US policy under Trump, Kyiv has doubled down. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky made a shocking statement, saying he is willing to resign if it means peace or NATO membership. He made his remarks just hours after Russia's biggest ever air attack on Ukraine. Zelensky said he was counting on Ukrainian and European unity and American pragmatism. European leaders are also responding to Trump's pressure by pledging to step up spending on defense. On Monday, EU and world leaders reached Kyiv, by the way, to mark the third anniversary of the war. The guests included the European Council President, Antonio Costa, as well as the Prime Ministers of Northern European countries and Spain. They are in Kyiv to discuss supporting the war-torn country as the US has shifted its policy in a way on dealing with Russia. Meanwhile, both Trump and Putin have said they are willing to meet soon, and if they do, it would be the first face-to-face encounter between a Russian and a US president since 2021. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.